Season 19, aka the Season of the Seraph, kicked off on December 6th and will run until February 28th. As the name implies, this season revolves around the Warmind Rasputin. We'll be exploring Warmind bunkers, all the while chasing classic Ikelos weapons and armor that is very reminiscent of the Midnight Exigent set that dropped from Escalation Protocol. Let's go over what to expect from Season of the Seraph. Timestamps are in the description if you want to skip around. The season opens up with the cutscene showing that Anna Bray has been trying to put Rasputin into an exo shell. She's not had a lot of luck accomplishing this, so we are tasked with getting Clovis Bray involved. He agrees to help and sets us off on the seasonal activity loop named Heist Battlegrounds. Completion of these missions results in the recovery of Rasputin's submind fragments, which will be used to dump him into the exo shell. As usual, the story unlocks further each week. Presumably, the story will end in a manner that connects us to the next big DLC expansion, Lightfall. Heist Battlegrounds is a very straightforward 3-player activity. You'll launch the activity via the playlist icon on the helm screen. Once you fly in, your goal is to clear a bunch of enemies around the entrance to one of the old Warmind bunkers. The only thing you need to be aware of outside the bunker is the laser of death that doesn't mess around. There's a counter on screen whenever it is targeting you. If it reaches 0, you die. Once the coast is clear, you'll move into the bunker and continue clearing enemies until you activate the inner console, which will spawn another horde of enemies. Ghost will be busy doing whatever ghosts do, so you'll need to buy some time by keeping enemies off of them. There is a special disruptor enemy that spawns which will stop Ghost from progressing. Get rid of these guys as soon as you see them. The encounter is completed when Ghost reaches 100%. This opens the next area and there is a laser trap waiting. Be sure to keep a close eye on your blueberries. Keep moving forward and you'll come to a door that has been sealed by hive glyphs. There are laser weapons located on the far sides of this room. Pick a side, deal with a few enemies, then grab the laser weapon. Use this to blast the hive glyphs. Once all glyphs are destroyed, the final door opens. This final room has a boss that you need to take down. It's also filled to the brim with enemies. Damage the boss until they go immune, which will spawn some new enemies around the room. These enemies have an icon above their heads. Take them out and they'll drop an arc charge that can be deposited in the column in the center of the room. After enough charges have been deposited, the boss will no longer be immune and you can finish the fight. Oh, and watch out for the champions that spawn. They can deal some serious damage quickly. After the boss is dead, 2 chests will spawn. One is a freebie and the other requires Seraph key codes. The Seraph key codes are this season's currency and will drop from pretty much any activity in the game. Congratulations, you've completed a Heist Battleground. I'm hoping that there will be a bit more variety as more locations unlock. Clovis in the Rasputin exo frame is located at the helm. He serves as this season's vendor. There are no surprises in that regard. He has bounties, you can focus engrams, and there is an upgrade grid just like every other season. You do receive a side quest item from him named the Resonance Amp. This device generates override frequencies which can be used to access hidden sleeper nodes around the planets. Seeing this caused me to have nightmares last night as memories of grinding Mars until I unlocked all 40 sleeper nodes flooded my brain. Thanks for that, Bungie. To generate the override frequencies, you'll need to farm resonant stems from activities throughout the game. After acquiring 4, pull up the Resonance Amp in your inventory and you'll be able to generate a single override frequency. The Resonance Amp description will update with a hint guiding you to the location of a sleeper node. As an example, mine shows Europa Eventide Cliff Refuge. Based on this, I flew to Eventide on Europa and went to the area where the Fallen were hiding out back during Season of the Splicer. As you get closer to the node, you'll hear music and your screen will slightly change color. Open the node for your reward. And Bungie, if we need to unlock every node in the game, then for the love of God, please give us bad luck protection. The seasonal exotic is an SMG named the Manticore. If you purchase this season, you'll have access to the Manticore at rank 1 of the season pass. If you haven't purchased the season, you can still get this SMG at rank 35 of the free track. This thing is wild. The Soaring Fang exotic perk lets you float in the air after you've charged anti-grav repulsors by dealing damage to enemies on the ground. The Swooping Talons exotic perk increases damage while you are airborne. This SMG is built around the idea of being airborne. This is a very unique perk combo, especially when you consider how horrible most weapons in Destiny 2 performed while in the air. I'm not sure how practical it is yet. I spent a couple of hours messing around with it and I'm not ready to pass judgment on it. There is no doubt it is a unique weapon, and since it is free, there is no reason not to pick it up. The newest dungeon, named Spire of the Watcher, drops on 12/9. As the dungeon is not yet released, there's nothing for me to say about it. I do want to clear up one point of confusion. The dungeon is completely separate from the season. If you want to play through the dungeon, you'll need to purchase the Witch Queen dungeon key from Eververse. Yes, sadly dungeons require a separate purchase now. And with that, I'm done. I'll reserve my opinion of this season for now. I know there are a lot of people who aren't happy about the current state of Destiny 2, and I get it. I have a lot of concerns too. I just want to hold off on voicing any of those concerns until I give this season a chance.